I've used Harrisburg Visitors Bureau's stats, saying, well, Hershey-Harrisburg is pretty close, and the people coming to visit them, you know, when I had no money to purchase and to understand where the people were coming from. Now, we have a baseline, and this information is collected from cell phones and from credit cards, and for 18 years and older, only adults are being used, and that's how they're tracking the flow. There's so many details on this program that we can tell you where they went before the show at the expo, say, as an example, where they went afterwards. It's always sheets, but you know, where they went afterwards, the road they took to get there, where they're coming from, their education, their household income, their ethnicity. It's crazy, but go ahead.
And just to add, there are privacy safeguards in place, so the information that they're using is not personal information at all. It's aggregate data and it's estimates, but they have also compared those estimates. Say you're at Citizens Bank Park for a Phillies game, they can compare their estimates to what the ticketing sales are to make sure that they're accurate. They have a 99% accuracy rate with their data. Another thing with Placer AI is you have to reach a minimum threshold to be able to have the data presented. So if 3 of us went to Coleman Memorial Park on a day, that's not going to show up, but will show up in the month-long data. So just making sure that privacy is at the forefront of what they're doing.
And the AI you're referencing, is that artificial intelligence?
Jen, didn't you mention at the board meeting the other day, this is like a 4 or 5 year span that
we can go back to 2017
right,
and get data for the last 5 or 7 years.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason, I mean, we only really need it for a year because we're pulling data all the way back from 2017. Like this chart here, the pre-COVID number is the 2019 numbers. So
I had her put the COVID up because I know how instrumental the 3 of you and how hard you all worked for the COVID recovery, and thought it would be good to show that, you know, your efforts were all well spent.
yeah, and this is just another way to look at the COVID recovery. So this is just for the month of October. This is comparing October of 2019 to October of 2024. Looking at some different categories on here. So for the most part, within all of these categories, it is fully recovered, if not over that. So you can see the hotels and casinos. Obviously, we don't have a casino here, but so it would just be hotels. Is 250% recovered, as well as spa and beauty. The leisure category is the one there that you see minus 65%. That one's not doing as well, but this really fluctuates based off of the month of the year. So
I don't know that you would know this, but the casino is partly in Lebanon County. We fought to try and get a proportional amount of the tax dollars collected, and it didn't happen. So if there's ever an opportunity, I want to make sure you're all aware of that if Lebanon County can get some of that money from the marketing of the casino, I think we should apply.
That's a good point.
So before we were looking at overnight visits and visit nights in hotels. Now we're going to be looking at different venues around the Lebanon Valley. These are just 3. I mean, we can look at pretty much any venue that gets enough visits. This is in the net, Litz Arena, and the Lebanon Valley EXPO Center. So right here we're looking at year-over-year visits from 2021 all the way up through the last 12 months. So you can see the expo there at the bottom has increased their visits year over year. Lewis and In the Net have much higher numbers, but have decreased year over year. So just some interesting statistics to look at. One thing I want to note is that visits does not equal visitors. If I go there twice, it's 2 visits, but 1 visitor. So just something to note.
It's interesting that In the Net and Lewis.
Yeah, one of the things we've considered with that is New Jersey was closed for a while after COVID with a lot of their sporting venues, which is not the case anymore. So that could be part of why the numbers have gone down, but you know, it's hard to know.
Well, and also we're an economical place for them to come and have their events, and they're certainly doing the numbers.
We're looking at the same 3 venues here again. This is for 2017 through 2023. This is looking at the visitor distance traveled. So On Placer AI, we can see how far people's home locations are from the places they're visiting. So for Click Lewis and In the Net, the lighter color here is people who are closer, so 0 to 10 miles, 10 to 30 miles. The darker colors are people who have traveled quite a bit further. So for Click Lewis and In the Net, they've got a majority of people traveling over 30 miles to come to their venues. The Expo Center is a little bit more localized. They've got 72% coming from within 30 miles. So this data here, looking at the home locations, is extremely valuable to us when we're considering our marketing efforts. Being a DMO, that's really important to us, getting those people from outside of Lebanon County to come into the county.
And again, I have all this information in a packet for you, so you can see it up close.
Yeah, so now we're gonna move into a little bit about the social media that Visit Lebanon Valley is involved in. We currently host a Facebook account, an Instagram account, a YouTube account, and we've had the addition of a Linktree account, which I'll get into a little bit later. But looking first at Facebook, as a social media manager, I'm responsible for posting on social media very frequently, and also the creation of reels that we can promote on social media, so that video content as well. So for the Java Journey, for the Libation Trail, I go out, I interview some of the business owners, I take some footage, I cut it together in a reel, and then I post it on social media. And we find that those videos get the most engagement and are received the best. So in 2023, our goal on social media was to increase our brand awareness and increase our reach, which we were successful in. And for 2024, since it was Year of the Arts, we thought it would be best to have a goal of utilizing social media to encourage people to visit our website and look at the different blogs and the different content revolving around Year of the Arts. So you can see reflected in the first circle, our link clicks have increased by 61%. We had 19.7 thousand link clicks. So if I was to put a post or add a URL to that post, so going to a blog, to the events calendar, some other URL on the website, those are the amount of clicks that we have received. And you can see our reach for this year, we're trailing just behind what we did for 2023. And our most popular organic post for 2024 is our Timber Creek coffee shop announcement as the top location for the Java Journey. It reached 28,000 people. So we find our reach is increased often by, if we toss a little bit of money at those ads, we boost those posts on Facebook, and on Instagram we perform the best. So you can see from ads, our reach is up 6.5% from last year.
To make sure that I'm understanding things succinctly, these are ads purchased, not ads sold.
That's correct.
Okay.
So, and for social media, on Instagram, our numbers are looking pretty good. And again, since our goal was to gather link clicks, you were unable to link a URL in the caption of an Instagram post. So we remedied this by adding a link tree. So a link tree, you can see kind of in the middle there, is a menu of links and URLs that our visitors can navigate. So when we make a post, we can say, go to the link in our bio. We can put the link to the link tree on there, and it'll give them a menu of all kinds of things. So whether it was relating to that post or the previous 5 posts, it can be to the events calendar, the visitor's guide, and things like that. And so they can click on that link and it'll take them directly to that content. And so our link clicks are up 642% as a result, because we were unable to get those link clicks before. And going into our newsletter, another thing that I do, we send out a newsletter that has, depending on the month, whatever is being promoted that month. So whatever upcoming events there are, the different blogs, and whatever other promotions, so Java Journey, Libations Trail, and things like that. Especially the Year of the Arts content and all the blogs that we have going on there. But so we have an average open rate of 40% for every one that we send out. This year we sent out 19 total, and we delivered 60,000 emails to our audience of just under 5,000 people.
And statistically, 44% is very high for an open rate. Traditionally, it's like 12%.
Yeah, we delivered.
So we know we're giving them the content that they want and look forward to seeing.
Right. Sorry. No worries at all. Yeah, go ahead. And finally, our photo contest. We've put on the photo contest, how many of it? Six years now, I believe. And we run it in the summer. This year it was from mid-May to the end of July, and we had 5 categories. And you can see the 6 winners. So we did 1 from each category plus 1 honorable mention. And we had 103 entries from 40 photographers to make 152 submitted photos, which is the highest number we've ever had before for submissions. And the photo contest is a great resource for us as far as the gathering of content and imagery for basically everything that we do, whether it's the website, social media, the newsletter, the visitor's guide, and of course our ads that we put out as well.
Just a little point that I learned last night. A lot of the crops didn't make it because of the drought. The sunflowers made it, but the deer ate, like, I don't know if it was 55% of the crop of sunflowers. So that took away from their profits there. And the farmer I was talking to was really upset with the deer.
I believe that the sunflower photo in this is, I think it's Schaeferstown Farm, and it was taken by Travis Boyd, and he's a previous photo contest winner as well. So.
Yeah.
So one of the major assets we run as a DMO is our website, visit LebanonValley.com. When you're looking at a website, one of the data points that is really important is the amount of sessions you have. So one session would be me pulling up the website and looking at the Bluebird Inn's business page. That would count as one session. So this year, from January through November, we're actually at our highest amount of sessions we've ever had, 154,000 or so. And we're really proud of that. Lonnie and I work very hard on the website. We're on it almost daily, making edits. We had over 250 events hosted on our event calendar this year. And if you're thinking about that, every single event, Lonnie is going on there, putting the details of the event, the date, a description, a photo. So it's a very time-consuming process doing that. We also work with Fresh Creative on our website. So I've been working closely with Jim from Fresh Creative to make some updates on the website. I just showed here the Bluebird Inn's business page before. It had that giant green bar at the top. So now we've added in a little bit more imagery just to make it more appealing, easier for visitors to use. Fresh Creative has also added an ADA compliant button, which is important to have on a website. And then we've also added a search bar to our homepage. So if I'm looking for the Bluebird Inn, I pull up Visit Lebanon Valley, I type it in the search bar and it pops right up. So the website is something that's really important to us, and as you can see, it's been doing well this year. As I'm sure you guys are aware, this year was our year of the arts. When we started this, we really didn't know how many places we were going to cover, and as of now, we have 27 different arts organizations highlighted on our website. So we're really proud of that. We tried to really do a broad stroke when talking about the mediums that we were highlighting with the Year of the Arts. So you can see here in the photo, this is from the Amish Outlaws concert that we did at the fair. You can see the Suzanne H. Arnold Art Gallery at LBC there, the Water Tower in Mount Gretna, then a picture from the art show. So we really wanted to highlight what the arts do for well-being in a community and how important they are to the livelihood of the people there. And another part of this was highlighting organizations each month. So I would interview and write a blog each month based off of the organization that we were highlighting. In the next slide, you're going to see the Luna Moth, which was our highlight in May. We talked to Ryan Fretz, and he built a Luna Moth that was on display for the entire summer. And then you can see in August was the Mount Gretna Outdoor Art Show. I wrote an article. I actually got to talk to Carrie for that, and then I got to also talk to Bruce Johnson, who was one of the founders of the art show. And then we gave out our little tote bags that you can see in the top right. So talking to different organizations every month, it was a really great experience. And you know, there were many more arts organizations than we realized, and they really do a lot for the well-being of our community. Cross our fingers that it works. And that was filmed by Corey Smith. He's a videographer that we work with pretty often. He does a really great job. You'll see another video a little bit later. So another thing that we've been a part of for a little over a year now is MAPRA. This is the Mid-Atlantic Tourism and Public Relations Alliance. Jennifer and I are both members with them. And one of the main events that MAPRA holds is called the Media Marketplace. Jen and I had the opportunity to go this year. It was down in Roanoke, Virginia. And what this event does is it brings together public relation professionals from other DMOs just like ours. And it gives us a 3-hour session where we meet with travel writers and kind of pitch the Lebanon Valley to them and invite them to come and visit the Lebanon Valley. Jen and I met with over 15 journalists in that 3-hour time period, and all of them are now interested in coming to the Lebanon Valley. We're going to be doing a familiarization or FAM tour in winter of 2025, where we'll be showing them around the Lebanon Valley. We'll be taking them to go see the snow geese, to some of our Java Journey locations, and then they will write about the Lebanon Valley. Some of them are content creators, so they'll be making like reels on Instagram, things like that. And in addition to those things, MAPRA also has given me a lot of professional development opportunities, as well as Jen too. I mean, they do coffee chats monthly, and I've also gotten to join as a chair of their marketing committee, where I get to discuss with other public relation professionals. We talk about how to celebrate the 250th, how you send out your press releases, what media contacts you should be meeting with. So it's been a really great experience being a part of this organization.
The Luna moth,
Mm-hmm.
is that something that is self-sustaining? Will it come back next year, or does it have to be redone?
It's done.
It's done.
To maintain that live exhibit in the heat that we had this past summer with the moss, it was a full-time job for Ryan. He was over there every day, right, Carrie? It was a celebration, and we say our Year of the Arts, but you know it started with your proclamation of the Year of the Arts for the Gretna Art Show. So
Okay.
I thought we should correct that.
Well,
as
I know the city just gave us an ask for money for self-watering flower plants
Oh.
downtown.
Oh,
And I didn't know how that was maintained, or if there was like a bark mulch in the middle that it fed on, or I didn't know how it was constructed.
I don't know.
That was a Ryan Fred's question.
But it was a self-watering art installation.
Oh,
though.
was it?
Mhm, It was, yeah.
So continuing with the theme of public relations, as a PR manager, I send out a lot of press releases for different things that we're doing. So that includes events, releases, anything like that. And it's not just to news outlets. You can see Lebtown up here and ABC 27, but we also send those to places like Susquehanna Style, different magazines and publications to get coverage of things that we're doing. So with the Susquehanna Style article, Jen and I met with their editor, Katie Sharrow, and she wrote a 7-page article about Lebanon. It went in their print edition and also on their website. And then another one is Where and When magazine. They covered the art show. And then Visit PA, which is basically our organization, but for the entire state. They covered Mount Gretna with a getaway guide.
Do you have Lebanon Daily News on your list?
Mhm.
I was going to
Yeah,
say,
Definitely.
this is just a smattering of some of the media coverage from this
Okay.
year. I do have them on my list.
I know that they attend our meetings faithfully along with Lebtown and usually WLBR.
So we're going to talk about some more of our events from the year. I will discuss the Java Journey a little bit more when we get to the slide. It has an incredible financial impact onto the area. We again celebrated Lebanon Lily's birthday party at Patches. It was a very well attended event. We added music. The Conservancy was there helping plant sunflowers, and we even had the Dairy Princess there helping them make butter. Our second annual Hospitality Star Awards happened at St. James Players Theater. That's where we recognize the what we consider our ambassadors, people who are front-facing with our guests, and just thanking them for going usually above and beyond the call of duty. Again, tour to Lebanon Valley. We always support their endeavors, and also the pre-ride registration party at the expo. We covered the Luna Moth. We attended Old Anvil Days. Amish Outlaws was on a wish list for the fair to have, and so we were happy to support them in getting them to the area, and I think that was very well received. The art show, we handed out 1,000 tote bags, so we were there greeting guests as they came in, and it's really great to kind of see the tote bags wandering around Mount Gretna, and also really to get to shake hands and see where people are coming from. Libations Trail, we had our spring kickoff at Cornwall Inn and our fall kickoff at the Music and Brew Fest at Coleman Park. I'll talk about that in the next slide as well, and how we're moving forward with that in 2025. We, along with, again, more of the Year of the Arts, we sponsored the First Friday in October at Lebanon Valley Arts Council. St. Luke's was open for tours, and downtown was quite busy with people wandering around and taking in the folks that were open for it. We had our hospitality mixer, and we drove in the holiday parade for the first time this year in our wrap van, and we had our Lebanon Lily sunflowers, again promoting the Sunflower Club. And we're rounding off the year at the Lebanon Community Theater with the opening night of White Christmas. That's okay. So here's our libations trail. You can see the top total is, over the years that we've had it going, is close to 14,000 check-ins. And along with the check-ins, that includes the money that is being spent at these locations. These locations being the breweries and the restaurants in the area that support by selling our local breweries product. So as you can also see from here, there's a really big interest in the spring. We don't have as much in the fall. I think it's a very busy time of the year. And so moving forward 2025, we're going to reduce it to one libations trail, put our efforts into one that is doing very well, and marketing that in a different way. So yeah, again, just it's nice to see a financial impact that it's also adding. And then our Java Journey. This is such a wonderful event that has taken on a life of its own. It brings so much energy and excitement to the area, and the numbers are just so impressive. I mean, you look at this and going from 2023 to 2024, you would see it if I added 2022 as well. But just calling out the passports sold at these locations, we went from 888 to 1,436, which is a 62% increase. And we even had a 77% increase in passports completed. That means that all these people went to all 12 locations, had their stamps, and handed in their passports at the end of the day. And if you look at that from a financial impact, over just 8 weeks, $101,000 into the economy, into just these 12 locations. So we're really proud of it as an energy point of view, because part of our job is, obviously we're trying to get people to come in here, but you also want to have a great place for people to see. And this is one of those things that brings that kind of energy to the place, to our county. And people from surrounding counties do enjoy it. Another area that we're emphasizing is our bus tours. And Lonnie and I got to go to the PBA show, and we got to talk to several people talking about things that they can do in our area by bringing a bus in. And we had a gentleman bring through that this year. We had a surprise, they called it a mystery tour. So these people willingly, 50 of them, get on a bus, not knowing where they're going to go. And they came here to Lebanon, and they had a blast. The feedback was incredible. They said it was one of their best tours of their entire year or ever. And so some of the places they went to is Seltzer's Smokehouse Meat Store, which has been increasing in visitors. And lunch at the Quentin House. They drove by the Iron Furnace. They went to Wirtz's, the Historical Society, and from this picture you can see they even enjoyed a boat ride in at the Union Canal, which you can also see the motor broke, and that made this gentleman's day. So they had a great time, and through that we have about 5 more booked that we are aware of next year. One of them including an overnight, which would include them staying here in Lebanon County, doing a lot of things around the area, and also going over to Hershey. So we've seen quite quickly the fruits of our labor on that.
So before we get into next year, and there's only 3 more slides, I want to offer Carrie a chance to, as our vice chair and board representative, a chance to react to the Year of the Arts and add her input.
Yeah, absolutely. We started this in 2023 with getting ready for the Year of the Arts, and it's just been so special, so meaningful, and Jen and her team just have a gift for uncovering all of these wonderful experiences in Lebanon County and bringing people in and boosting our excitement and our attendance and helping us with some of our public art and our we had our temporary Luna Month, but we also have the art on the water tower, and that's going to be sustaining for a long time. So I just want to thank all of you for supporting the Year of the Arts. It was a fantastic endeavor.
Thank you, Carrie. And so next year, just a little snapshot into what we're starting to plan. We want to really highlight family fun. Pick your own adventure, agritourism, the farms, the Patches Creamery. There's a new Lebanon Lily book coming out very soon, probably in the next month, where Lily takes her friends and relatives to certain events throughout the Lebanon Valley. So we want to feature that for 2025. We've added a Lebanon Lily Sunflower Club on Facebook so that parents will be able to have a spot where we highlight certain events that are family friendly and really shine to a different group that we haven't really actively gone after. And next, this is the last slide basically, and I don't want to steal the 250 thunder from my fellow 250 commission people, but I wanted to give you an opportunity to see the finished video that we produced this summer. So we're going to play that next, and after you have seen it, then we'll probably release it to the public. But I wanted to show it to you 3 first before we made it a public event. So go ahead, Darby. And this is 4 minutes long. As we commemorate 250 years of American history, there's no better place to celebrate than right here in the Lebanon Valley. From our historic landmarks to our vibrant communities, this region reflects the spirit and resilience that has shaped our nation.
Here at Historic Schaefferstown, we are working to preserve and to share the history and culture of the Pennsylvania German people who settled here nearly 300 years ago.
The Lebanon Historical Society was organized in 1898 to collect, exhibit, preserve, and publish the history of the Lebanon Valley.
Built in 1742, Litz Fort, Lebanon County's oldest building, was constructed of 2-foot thick stone walls as a private dwelling, and served as a site for the city's first African Methodist Evangelical Church services.
Cornwall Iron Furnace was established in 1742 on the Pennsylvania frontier and supplied iron to forges and settlers. During the American Revolution, it supported the Patriot cause by making shot and cannon.
Originally built in 1738, the Isaac Meyer Homestead is an interpretive museum centered around the home of Myerstown's founder, which offers frequent tours, crafts, and education events throughout the year.
This beautiful church behind me is Salem Lutheran Church, built in 1796. It's one of the oldest churches in Pennsylvania.
From the crypt to the gargoyles, St. Luke's Episcopal Church is an outstanding example of Victorian Gothic architecture. Completed in 1880, the church was a gift of the Coleman family.
Union Canal Tunnel Park, 90 acres of nature, centered on the Union Canal Tunnel, America's oldest active transportation tunnel.
The Lebanon Farmers Market, where history meets quality, variety, and community.
4th generation owned and operated Seltzer Smokehouse Meats has been handcrafted in Lebanon, Bologna with a unique blend of spices, 100% beef, and old world smokehouses since 1902.
Handcrafted and cold roasted since 1927,
Shuey's Pretzels is a true Lebanon County specialty.
Our locally famous opera fudge and caramel corn are handmade right here in Lebanon since 1931.
40 Uniontown Gap has had a major presence in the Lebanon Valley for over a century. The post has been used by the Pennsylvania National Guard in 1932 and would go on to be one of the busiest U.S. Army training sites for World War II. A tradition that continues to this day, with 40 Uniontown Gap being one of the busiest training sites in the nation.
Since 1947, we've put veterans at the center of everything we do at the Lebanon VA Medical Center.
Established in 1976, Uniontown Gap National Cemetery is the 8th largest national cemetery in the National Cemetery Administration. At just over 677 acres, we're larger than Arlington.
Welcome to Coleman Memorial Park, a beautiful wooded 100-acre recreational and historical area established in 1936 through a gift to the city of Lebanon by the Coleman and Brock families.
The historic open-air Mount Gretna Playhouse in the Pennsylvania Chautauqua. The programs inside this building have been entertaining and enlightening audiences since 1892.
Mount Gretna Museum preserves its history through displays and programs featuring the Pennsylvania National Guard, amusement park, carousels, and a narrow gauge railroad.
The Lebanon Valley Rail Trail is an important asset to our community for two very important reasons: our history and our quality of life.
The 3,520-acre Swatara State Park has many hiking trails like Bear Hole Trail, which leads to the Bordner Cabin, an architectural masterpiece with a fascinating history.
Home of the Lebanon Area Fair, the Lebanon Valley EXPO Center and Fairground host events all year long, from craft shows and artisan markets to tractor pulls and FFA events that pay homage to our strong agricultural roots.
We are the 250th Planning Committee, and work has already begun on our plans to celebrate. Follow us on Facebook to see our plans unfold for Lebanon County. 2026 will be here before you know it. Celebrate 250 in the Valley. Happy birthday, America!
I know, it's a little corny, but we had fun with it. And I think it's a Lebanon Valley proud video. That's what we wanted to create.
I could be someplace at 2:30, but it's all good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that was good.
So yeah.
So will you put it up on the
We'll
website
put it on,
now?
yeah,
or-
yeah.
okay.
We'll release it to the public.
We'll
Because
put it to YouTube as well.
we'll
Yeah.
upload it to YouTube as well, yeah.
Very well done.
We're just all very proud of how it turned out. You know, so that's kind of it in a nutshell. If you have any other questions. We just wanted to make sure you understood some of the things that we've been busy on this year, and I think it's important to share.
You, if I recall, you said that, you told me that you had signed up for Placer AI for 1 year?
Yes.
When is that?
July to July.
Okay.
So we might only have it through June 30th, you know.
Okay, that's what I was leading to. Do you think you're gonna re-up on it, or no? It's giving you a lot of data and.
Maybe in future years you might.
I definitely would do it
but-
again. I think it was a positive, but it just, I don't think the stats would change that much
Right.
1 year after the next. But maybe in 3 years, try it again and see where we're going.
And you have that option to get in and out
Yes.
again, just.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the things with Placer AI too is it's a website, so for all of the reports, I mean, I can go on there right now and pull up whatever location I want and pull a report for it. So I try to make sure multiple times a week I'm pulling reports down and downloading their data so that even when we don't have it, we're still going to have the data that I've downloaded.
So you can look at, it's not just specific, you don't buy access to data for here, you buy the whole access. So you
Yeah.
can look at what
Like-
other areas and how they're
Like Hershey
doing.
Park,
yeah.
Right,
or-
and see if,
yeah.
are they eating your lunch, you know, so to speak, are they?
They might be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
But if there's something specific that we can research for the county in this analytic data, we'd be happy to do that.
Interesting.
Jen, to that point, do you see Placer AI playing a prominent role in helping to provide data to county commissioners so that they can make informed decisions, educated decisions for the hotel tax grant program, which is, the fine head got depleted and now they're trying to build it up, but really to show with the purpose being to primarily fund events that put heads in beds.
That could be one of the results of this, but that's certainly your up to your discretion. We've made a lot of assumptions going forward, and now we have actual figures. So it's always nice to have that data to back up what we believe.
So we could even see, as you described, if 3 people go to a park, that doesn't register, but if 300 people go there in a month or more, then it does. So to that question, I mean, we this office could even give you the list of funded applications that have been granted, and run them in the system and say, hey, did it show up? You know, did it have enough of an impact that day or that weekend to show up here? And if so, you know, what was the? Doesn't give you an economic impact, I guess. It gives you attendance.
Traffic flow, right?
We can get economic data for the county as a whole and for like cities, but you can't do it for like a specific, like we can't see how much the economic impact would be for the quilt show, but we can see Lebanon County as a whole.
And I'm even going to use it for marketing purposes. If I want to place a billboard somewhere, I want to look at traffic flow, where they're coming, what roads they're coming from. I can pinpoint where that billboard is and see the effectiveness of that over this location.
Yeah. So before it runs out, I would encourage you, we're starting a comprehensive plan in the beginning of the year. Hopefully we're going to have a committee appointed and so on and get started, but since you're running this until June, it sounds like maybe one of the early things Julie and company Julie Cheney could do is sit down and say, hey, we have a few questions maybe you could help us to you know, shed light on before your subscription runs out.
Yeah, it doesn't cost us any more,
right,
to sit down and help.
It might be a tool before the time runs out. Okay. Thank you.
The Year of the Arts is 2024. Is there a year of for 2025? Did you say that?
Family fun.
Family fun.
We're focusing on adventures, pick your own adventures, agritourism, and the year of family fun.
Okay, so I guess you covered a lot under the arts, but what wasn't covered? For instance, I can think of Lebanon Valley Mall, I don't think was covered in this, and they've been doing a lot of events drawing a lot of people. Are there other venues like that in the county that were not in the Year of the Arts?
Well, in addition to the 12, the big 12, we called them, one every month, that Lonnie and Darby worked on doing articles and interviews and videos about. Lonnie also did on social media, we called them Yoda, which is Year of the Arts. We called them Yoda Bees. Like, they didn't make the big 12, but they're also very important, you know, so she featured many of these organizations that we couldn't get in as social posts and recognizing events.
Like Fort Indian Town Gap.
Exactly,
yeah.
Exactly.
The other thing with Year of the Arts too is we really tried to only highlight arts organizations when talking about our promotions under Year of the Arts, and one of them was St. James Players, which is at the mall, so that one got a little bit of coverage with that.
Well, we had a board meeting there, so.
Oh, and our hospitality event was there too.
Yes.
So, and we sponsored one of her shows. So we know we helped that cause, and now we're working with Drunken Smithy to see what else we can do with them with our libations trail for next year. So we're always looking forward to see who can we partner with.
Do you encourage businesses that think they have something to offer for tourism to reach out to you?
Oh, 100%. Yes.
100%. They don't have to wait to be asked.
Right.
No.
Right.
Okay.
Just this morning, Cornell came up to me at the chamber breakfast and said, "What is next year's theme?" And I said, "Year of family fun." And he said, "We have to talk." So, you know, they're starting to understand. I mean, I don't have an unlimited amount of funds, but if we can co-op and collectively collaborate, it's more efficient and more effective, and it's a win-win.
Okay, I'm getting it.
Yeah, one of the things that we'll be doing with the bus tours is you know, we've partnered with a lot of people already, letting them know that that's something that's, you know, in the works. So they should be prepared when they do get that call to understand how to accommodate a bus arriving. You know, so
Now, are they Fisher buses or are they Lebanon Transit buses?
no,
or-
these are they're coming from out.
Oh, they're not even our buses.
No, they're coming from out of the area into
Okay.
our area for a tour.
If somebody's coming here for an event,
Mm-hmm.
do we have a package to give them on arranging a tour for their group?
Yes, that's what we're working on. We, you know, we already have stops that are on board, and we're, you know, tweaking that. Actually, we're getting some things prepared for the PBA that's happening next year at Spooky Nook.
That's the Pennsylvania Bus Association.
Yeah.
Well, I can just see a card with guidance on given to
Yes.
the expo.
That's what they're
That's what
producing.
we'll- that's
And-
what we'll-
yeah.
With a sample itinerary.
Yes.
What you could do if you came here.
Yeah, okay.
We also have a variety of different self-guided itineraries created already, depending on what your interests are. So we have one for shopping and antiquing, we have one for history and heritage, we have one for for family fun through Lily, and we have the African American Heritage Trail. And those are all downloadable PDFs on our website, but also you can pick up a physical copy in our office. And I believe that we have them in the turnstile at the Expo Center as well.
Okay. Well, you've got quite a team, Jennifer.
They're a dream team, I think.
Yes,
My
they
hats
are.
off to 'em.
Yeah, you
We
can
all
tell
have our
that you're
little-
working together.
Yeah, they're all great, and we all have our little specialties, so it works out pretty well.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you for giving the time. I appreciate it. And I do have colored copies here for you, so we can review them.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There's one for you too, Jill.
Jane, you mind sliding this back?
Oh, yeah. You don't need the hospital anymore, right?
This picture.
No, we're good. I think she just came to watch.
Are we ready to adjourn the meeting, or do you have more, Jamie?
What's that?
Are we ready to adjourn the meeting, or do you have
Yeah.
more?
No, that's all. That's all.
Can I make a motion to adjourn?
Sure. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
It's just a workshop.